Dangerous. President Obama is underestimating some Islamic terror groups, calling them JV. The president telling the New Yorker magazine, if a JV team puts on Lakers uniforms, that doesn't make them Kobe Bryant. Is the president implying these groups are not as dangerous as Al-Qaeda? Colonel Oliver North joins us. Ali, I don't even know what terrorists to me are terrorists.
Well, look, it's a flippant, arrogant, and ignorant comment. His description of what's taken place since bin Laden, and of course we were reminded again that bin Laden is dead. That's going to be a constant theme for the next 3 years. Bin Laden being dead hasn't changed a thing, except you no longer have a face for radical Islamic terror. Radical Islamic terror today is bigger than it ever was before 9/11. And what you have is a franchise operation being operated globally without somebody micromanaging it with a face.
Well, you must take it seriously. He's just sent 2 naval ships to the area near Sochi, the Olympics. So I mean, so he's dismissive of it in this interview, like it's JV.
Let's talk a little bit about what's happening with Sochi. Sochi has now got some real threats. We have no credibility whatsoever with radical Islamic terrorists or with people who should be, under these circumstances, our friends. In other words, our enemies don't respect us or fear us, and our friends, who should be our friends at least, don't trust us. Putin is not even asking for American help in this Olympics. I remember the LA Olympics when I was at the White House, and many since I'd done a little bit of that kind of counterterrorism work. This Olympics is almost exclusively being run with Soviet intelligence. The same people, by the way, that are debriefing Eddie Snowden are now trying to make sure that they don't have a terrible event occur like Munich 72.
And is there anything the president can do, should do about that? Because this is, I mean, we talk often about terrorism, and you know, as we sort of, I mean, this now we have a real threat.
Greta,
we have a live threat.
What's happened is you've had 5 years of incompetence, naivete, a perspective on what we face as an adversary that is so off and so wrong. It's almost impossible, certainly 3 weeks before an Olympics, to change any of that.
I thought this remark, I called a crack, about JV terrorists, is that even like a JV can kill, 100 people. I mean, maybe a professional could kill 102. But I mean, it's like, I don't understand why he said that.
I find it to be frightening when the commander-in-chief sits down for an interview like this and it's everything so wrong. His comments about Fallujah, about it's just sectarian violence, is wrong.
They have a black flag hanging over the top of the city.
Look, it's not just Fallujah. It's Ramadi, the capital. It's a 500,000-person city. There's a route that goes all the way from the Iranian border to the Syrian border. And the Ayatollahs have told Maliki, you will open our land supply route so that we can supply our IRGC and Hezbollah terrorists in the effort to keep al-Assad in power. This president has abdicated the responsibilities of global leadership. He had it and he threw it away. The troops didn't call it Obama's bug out from Iraq for nothing. That's what it was, and the consequences of all these things are going to be writ large in the future.
Well, I mean, the terrorism just doesn't stop. But today, 28 killed in bombings in Baghdad. Right. We just the other day had 2 Americans killed of a total of 21 at a restaurant in Kabul. I mean, it's just now we have a threat to Sochi. I mean, this stuff is, it's not going away.
No, and he can declare unilateral the war is over, but the bad guys have a vote. And they've decided this war is going to continue, and America is the #1 target.
Well, what he said is that Al-Qaeda was on the run, I think was the comment at the Democratic Convention. But anyway, I'm taking the last word on that. Thank you, Colonel.